Hello. Oh, Wendy looks frozen. Are you there? Hello. Well, anyway, hi everybody. This is Tim Moss. That's Wendy. Again, I don't know if you can hear me, if I'm frozen or if she's frozen. I don't know. But anyway, welcome to If These Walls Could Talk. Wendy should be back in just a moment. We have obviously technical problems or technical difficulties, I guess is what it's called. Um, Normally, Wendy and I, we talk about what we've been doing this past week. Um, for me, let me think. Last week I had a night out, which I never do. I went out for dinner and a movie with my friends Jed Ryan and Joe Aiello. Um, I never get like a night off. Normally, I'm either performing, I'm singing somewhere at a club, or I'm doing this or have an event and this and that. And it was wonderful. I forgot what that was like to just have a night out with the guys. It was great. I had a wonderful time. Then, of course, I'm an LGBT activist, and this last week, the Trump administration had just out of the blue just took down the pride flag at Stonewall National Monument, at Stonewall, for God's sakes. So I went down to a protest initially the following day, and then all of the politicians got together last Thursday, and everybody came out and we re-raised the flag. And it was really an incredible moment in American history. That's part of American history now, because he had it removed and we were like, no, you're not going to remove us. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. And it was wonderful to see everybody. A lot of the politicians were out, and that I don't get to see that often, and a lot of the activists, and it was a wonderful time. Let me see what else. My good friend Kit and I were writing some scripts together. There she is. There's Wendy Stuart.
Hey. I made it.
I was just kind of going over my week.
No, that's good. Please continue.
Yeah, well, I was telling them I had dinner and a movie with Jed and Joe one night, which I never do. Is just a night out. It was absolutely wonderful.
What movie did you? I couldn't make it that night, and they were free. What did you see?
It was a premiere of a movie called Gale, which was kind of about like a Wizard of Oz type of thing, like Dorothy Gale. Yeah. So, but I had a great time. It was fun with the two of them. I always have a great time. I was telling them about the flag coming down, and we protested and went back down, and we re-raised the flag and down at Stonewall.
Absolutely. Well, I want to share with you the movie. I went to Pelion. Have you heard about that film with Alexander? No. Alexander Skarsgård. I know I'm saying his name wrong. Hot, really hot. Up for a lot of awards.
Oh, good.
Really crazy film. Subject matter takes place in England, BDSM, and very edgy film. And I went with a whole bunch of friends, because you want to see a film like that with a bunch of friends, because I was like this a lot of the parts, but I highly recommend it. And tomorrow night, I'm very excited. Last week, as you know, Tim, we had Nika Ray on the show.
Yes.
And A Cry of the Butterfly.
Her show's running at Theater for the New City.
Yeah, and I've organized like 12 people to go see that tomorrow. I know. I'm like the freaking Pied Piper, because you know what? Don't you agree that things are better with friends?
Absolutely, always much better.
Right,
always.
Right. What did they say? Things are better with Coke. Well,
I'm gonna announce something in just a minute. So everybody, get ready to write it down. Okay. Either pen and paper so go ahead, and then I'll announce.
Right. That. And this week I was on a show as a guest called Foul Ball. Interestingly enough, when they booked me, I'm like, I don't know anything about baseball, and I don't really care about baseball. I have no interest in baseball or football other than like how hot some of the guys look on the field. That's it. So Foul Ball, though, was about this guy's got a whole show about people that are getting hit with baseballs. Did you know any of this? I didn't know any of it. No, but it's like all over the country. And, I have to bring this up because it's one of those niche things that it's very serious. They don't have enough netting, and they've had a lot of pushback from the baseball. I'm going to call it the
Oh, you
baseball.
mean like spectators getting hit by the balls?
Yes, and the pushback that they're getting, the biggest issue is, you know, all the old timers are like, we don't want all this netting standing in our way.
Oh,
you know,
I
we're
agree.
mad as hell. We're not going to take it anymore. We don't want to be woke. No, they didn't say that. I'm the one that said that. So instead, they're going to get woke.
Part of the game.
Right. They're going to get woke, though, by getting hit in the head with a ball. I mean, these injuries.
No, because catching a foul ball or catching a home run.
They prefer to do that. So, you know, this particular podcast has got guests on every week. They've got baseball players on that are like, hey, we really need to like start rallying to get this netting on the baseball field. So, you know what? It was a subject I knew nothing about. Now I know everything about it. And maybe I'll even go to a ball game to see if I can catch a ball.
Oh, there girl, I'll go to a Yankees game with you anytime. I love
Yankees. You go, right. And you know, I wanted to give a shout out here too, Tim, before you do your invite to everybody. Jesse Luttrell, our amazing friend, incredible actor, is about to go out on the road in a show, and we are having a get together for him on Sunday. I love him. I support him. You know, he's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That'll be fun.
So
now the art project that I've been working on for several months, which is called Project Transcend, we assembled 6 amazing artists, and they're all in the trans and gender nonconforming community. And they did a 12-week program called Body Mapping, where they would lay down and we would trace their body, and then they would create their story within the confines of their frame. And the results have just been magnificent. And the LGBT Center here in New York on 13th Street has picked it up, and they are going to be displaying their art for 3 months. And so where there's a 3-month installation at the LGBT Center, and excuse me, and we're having an opening reception March 20th. So everybody write this down. Friday, March 20th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the LGBT Center, 208 West 13th Street here in New York City. Everybody's welcome to come. It's a free event, and it'll be wonderful.
And the LGBTQ Center there is really wonderful. They do incredible work. And you know what, Tim, your involvement in a project like this is so key, especially in these times, you know, shining a light on the transgender community. So this is very exciting. And I love that it's going to be up for 3 months. So that's going to take you right through Pride. Right through Pride.
Right into June 1st. Yep.
Very, very cool. That's really great. Well, our guests today, they come from a part of the music industry I don't know all that much about, I'd like to say. However, when I started reading about them, I'm looking at all the people that they've played with, and I'm like, oh, that person's been on the show. That person's been on this. I should not underestimate what I do and don't know, okay? We've got 2 wonderful guests today, and the reason we have 2 of them is they collaborate with each other, okay? I will first announce one of the top guitarists in Progressive Magazine, according to the Reader's Poll. She is a guitarist, composer. She blends elements of jazz, progressive rock, and fusion. She's a singer, of course. Her compositions have won awards, and she happens to know a lot of the same people that I do know. Her name's Jane Getter, and our guest who's coming on with her has a group called, I know I'm going to butcher this, Stratusferius. I really practiced saying it, so if it didn't come out right,
I think that was pretty close.
That was pretty close, right? He is described as the Jimi Hendrix of violin. I just love that. And he's in Kansas right now, and of course has his own group. He was named the top violinist. And I want to add one more thing for our guest, Jane Getter. Her band is called Premonition. I love that. Not only can I say it, I have premonitions. So enough about all of that. Please welcome our wonderful musical talents today, Jane Getter and Joe Deninzon.
Yay.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Thank you so much, first of all, for coming on. Great to see the both of you. Joe, did I really practice saying Stratusferius? Is that how it's said?
Frozen.
I think he might be frozen.
Joe is frozen. Okay, he's going to come back on the street.
I think that's right,
yours
though.
is easier. Yours is premonition.
Well, it's Jane Getter Premonition.
Jane Getter Premonition.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
where did that come from? Do you have premonition?
This band is kind of a newer version of my older band, which was just called the Jane Getter Band.
The Jane Getter Band, yeah.
And I started, after doing that for a few years, I had like 3 albums out just under my name, Jane Getter. And then I started hearing different sounds, different music, and wanted something else in my band. And something else was another guitar player who happens to be Alex Skolnick. Anyway,
so the
premonition was like, I think I have a premonition that this is what I should do, you know? So that's where that name came from. Yeah.
Very, very cool. And Joe, can you hear us now? Joe is.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we totally great can hear you.
Okay, great.
How did
I dropped out for a second. I don't know what happened.
How did your band Stratusfurious come about?
And is she saying it correctly?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. Thanks for having both of us on the
course.
show. It's really an honor. And you also said I'm in Kansas. I'm in the band Kansas. I'm not in the state of Kansas right now.
I was gonna correct that too.
Right, I realized when I said that, like I just assumed everybody would know because everyone knows Kansas, and I don't mean the state. So I figured everybody would just know that you were band Kansas because why else would I mention it? But yeah. I'm not going to say you're not in Kansas anymore. You're on this crazy show where people are dropping off and freezing. But, other than that, you are in the band Kansas.
I'm in a basement in New Jersey.
You're in a basement in New Jersey. Right. But you also have your own band that you had formed, Stratusfurious. And you froze
Correct.
again. I think I should say Stratusfurious.
Yeah, you nailed the name. You really got it right.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed. People usually don't.
Oh no, I think we're having.
Yeah, I think it may be the basement in New Jersey.
And I had.
Yeah, you keep fading in and out.
Yeah, I didn't grow up in New Jersey. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and I had a CD I released, an instrumental fusion CD called Electric Blue, and I came to New York and went to school and was freelancing and looking for people who would, like-minded musicians who wanted to play this music live with me, because I always wanted to kind of have.
Joe, you know what keeps happening? It keeps cutting out. I don't know if you can hear it. The connection keeps cutting out. Maybe can you hear us?
Yeah, I could try to go to. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, you're cutting out on us,
really
so maybe try a different location. We'll talk to Jane a little bit, and you know where to find us. Great, cool. Jane, you started playing guitar when you were 8.
Yeah, something like that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
How did that start for you?
Well, my parents gave. I have an older sister, and my parents gave us both music lessons at the same time, but they gave her guitar lessons and me piano lessons. And I would always spy on her guitar lessons. I would always sit on the top of the stairs and just watch it. And I guess my parents finally got the hint, and then they switched me to guitar. And the funny thing is that the only guitar teacher in the town or that my parents could find was a flamenco teacher.
Oh my goodness.
It's hilarious.
So I started out learning flamenco guitar, and I never mastered that. I didn't last that long with that style. I mean, I love that style. I'd love to be able to master flamenco guitar because that's like incredible and incredibly difficult and everything.
It's incredibly difficult.
But I got more into pop music and stuff like that. And so when in the early days in blues, so.
Yeah. Now, who were some of your inspirations?
Early on or like later?
Well, both.
Oh, all of it. Okay. So,
what got you into guitar? What made you want to play guitar?
Well, I always loved the Beatles.
Yes.
And I always loved Led Zeppelin.
Paul or John?
Paul.
Yeah, same here.
Paul was your favorite?
I mean, but
always
Paul
loved Led
was
Zeppelin
the
too.
best looking, you know.
Right.
But I mean, their talents are equally amazing,
Absolutely.
You know? But a friend of mine took me to see Bonnie Raitt in younger,
love.
you know, when I was younger, and I had
Yeah.
never seen or imagined a woman could play like that, you know, because
Right.
I'd never
Right.
seen a woman play like that. And so that was a really pivotal moment for me. It's just like, just go for it, girl. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
don't let anything, you know, you want to play like that. You want to play lead guitar. You want to do this, you know, just, you know. So, and then let's see, the Allman Brothers, I loved.
Yes.
All the great ones.
Crosby, Stills and Nash and Jimi
Yep.
Hendrix, and then I started getting into jazz, and that was when, well, I grew up listening to Frank Sinatra because my mom was the biggest Frank
Yep.
Sinatra, and so I always had that kind of in the house. And then a
Mhm.
friend of mine took me to see Joe Pass play
Ah,
play solo guitar, and that blew me away
Hmm.
because I never could have imagined guitar could be played like that.
I mean, what was it about jazz is, of course, and you know this better than anyone, vastly different from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and Led Zeppelin. Those are all groups that I'm into. But jazz, was it the complexity of jazz?
Well, it's the jazz deals with different harmonies and
Mhm.
different. It's a different groove,
Different groove.
different soloing, improvisational approaches,
Right. Right.
and the harmonies are more complex and the compositions are more complex. But then you get into more progressive rock and the stuff which is also more complex than, like, you know, the Allman Brothers. But that's I'm going off on a tangent right there. But
Well, no, but
No,
that's,
no,
I love
that's
when you're
yeah.
explaining it because it's an area, you know, when I was reading about you, I don't know all that much about it. And then when I listened to your video, I'm like, oh, wow, this is really, really something. It's great.
Well,
You know,
Joe Pass solo jazz guitar takes care of everything. You know, it's not just strumming some chords. It's
chord. Yeah.
melody and bass
Right.
line and soloing and chords and just
Right.
finding it all and moving really fast between it all. And it was
Uh-huh.
just amazing. And I said, I want to do that. And
That's what I was gonna
so
do.
that got me onto the path of studying jazz. And Wes Montgomery for me was always my favorite jazz guitar player. And of course, there's a bunch of other ones that are great too. And then I started getting into more fusion, you know, with Shikari Electric Band, Return to Forever, Mahavishnu Orchestra, because those bands started combining the jazz that I'd been playing and rock, which was always, you know, I grew up on rock.
Mhm.
Right, so that's like the fusion thing, and then fusion of jazz and rock, and then as that was going, so that's a lot of my first album is very fusiony, and then it starts getting more into like rock and more heavier riffs and stuff like that, and then
Wow.
it ended up, I mean, I feel like it's now it's evolved into this prog rock thing, but it's prog rock fusion because I still have my jazz roots in there, you know.
Into the
Mhm.
prog rock fusion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming prog is short for progressive, right?
Yeah.
That was the terminology. So you have been a musician your entire life.
Yeah.
What has changed for you from when you started in the beginning? Because you record, but you also play live a lot. You know, you're not. There are bands that are just primarily the recording bands, and then they do tours.
Mhm.
You do like so much live performance. What has changed for you in the industry since you started?
Well, I feel that, oh God, that's huge. Let me see if I can.
Just in terms of how you feel, how audiences have changed, because when you think now of how music is done, right? Certainly we've progressed electronically from you know where you started to now.
Yeah.
How has all that affected you?
Well, one thing I like about the electronic advancements is that I can do a lot of stuff in my own studio without having to rely on other musicians.
Mhm.
And I
That's
can,
what I'm getting at. Yeah.
I can create my own demos at home where I program the drums, I play the bass, I play the keyboards, I sing, I play the guitars. And it's a much, for me, for my writing, it's a much faster process because when the ideas are coming out and I play it, I can just like record it right into my computer rather than writing. And when I write the stuff down, and I always write the stuff down anyway, like my band always gets like their parts written out and scores and stuff like that. But sometimes
you do the arrangements as well.
I do the arrangements.
She does it all.
And but you know, when you do arrangements and you have a demo, and so you don't really have like live people playing it in real time. But when I get in with my band in rehearsals, that stuff can change, you know, depending on, because when you start playing a piece of music and you go with the feel. I mean, I go with the feel. Does it feel like I need to go back to that section? Does the section need to be longer? Does the section need to be cut? You know,
or sometimes the musician might add a little flavor in there that works.
Exactly. Like especially my drum parts. Like I mean, I can play a little drums, but I'm not a drummer, and I always give my drummer, this is the basic groove that I come up with for the song, but you do your thing, you know, you're the drummer, you know, you don't just play exactly what I did, what I recorded. And a lot of the solo sections, and then some of the songs also, where it's just chords written out. I don't have an exact bass line. You know, I have my bass, like do your thing right there, you know, and the improvisational solo sections, I like to have it morph into possibly something else depending on what's going on and at the time. So,
now in pop music now, that's one thing I miss, like guitar solos, and they don't have those anymore. But now I believe we have a video of you. Yes. And so why don't we take a look at the video, and then when we come back, Joe should be rejoining us.
Yeah, we should get him back.
So please take. Gorgeous. Right. Yes.
You missed my guitar solo, which was after that.
Oh.
We
the
always
best
have
part.
a time thing with the amount of video that we show, and because they
Okay.
had 2 of you today, and I know you collaborate, I'm like, okay, they'll be fine if we split it up.
Okay.
Well,
So-
if people want to hear the long guitar solos, they got to come to our show at the Iridium March 1st.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right. You tell them.
There you go.
So welcome back, Joe Deninzon.
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you and see you, and you want to know why? Because Joe Deninzon is on Chrome.
Chrome
Yes.
is better.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I always send out, to be on Chrome or Firefox. Unfortunately, Safari does not work with StreamYard, but there you have it.
I've learned the hard way. Yeah.
We're happy to have you back. So,
Thank you.
welcome back to the show, Joe. We were just chatting with Jane. I did, Jane, before I start to talk to Joe with Tim, I wanted to find out, you played with the Saturday Night Live band. What was that like?
That was an incredible experience.
Uh-huh.
That was an intense and incredible at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you get like one rehearsal and
Wow.
then do the show. And
Really? And those bands that play on there, they're all amazing. I just figured that they had to, rehearse like a week ahead of time or something. You
Well,
only
this
Wow.
was the house band. I wasn't in a band that was a guest band.
No, I know, but the house bands are always so together, right? On all of these
Well,
shows.
they're all amazing readers. They have the music in front of them,
And they just throw you in and they tell you you have to go for it, and that's it. Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Absolutely. So welcome back, Joe. Good to
Thanks.
see you.
Thank you.
So how did the two of you meet?
Well, I had heard about Jane. There's a really tight-knit progressive rock fusion community in the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, Philly area. There's
Yeah.
festivals like, Prague Stock, which is
Mhm.
a big festival we've been involved with for a bunch of years. Our dear friends, Tom Palmieri and Rinaldi. A lot of the musicians cross-collaborate, know each other, know of each other.
Very cool.
So, I had known of Jane, and I knew her husband, Adam, and I knew Alex Skolnick, her guitar player, because
Of course.
Alex was in my band. It's an early version of Stratusfurious. When
Alex
he was
gets
still-
around, it seems. When I first met him, everyone was like, he's like amazing. And I'm like, well, he's really good looking. And he had, I pass that, but he had that white streak in the front.
Still has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still has it. And he was sitting right next to me here. I was just so focused on the white streak the whole time.
He's had that streak since he was like a teenager, I think. I remember because I was an aspiring guitarist growing up before I really got into violin, and I used to subscribe to all the guitar magazines, and Alex would always be on the cover, or he'd have an interview or a lesson. So he was like a rock star to me. And then I met him when I was teaching at the new school, became friends, and I hesitantly asked if he'd like to play in my band, and to my surprise, he said yes. So for a bunch of years, he was in my band before he got really busy with all his projects. But we've stayed in touch. So the way I met Jane was on Cruise to the Edge. I think we met for the first time in Cruise to the Edge 22. We were neighbors.
Our cabins were right next to each other.
So tell us, what is that, a progressive rock cruise that people can go on?
Yep. That's
That's really cool. I never
Yeah.
even heard of that. What do they do? Like, is it open to regular people or just musicians? Like, what happens?
Joe, you want to?
Well, I mean, it's open to everybody, but it's one of the nerdiest cruises you'll ever go because it's a lot of musicians, it's a lot of cool bands. I mean, when I'm not playing with the band that I was playing with, I'm running around trying to catch everybody else's show because I'm such a fan,
It's continual shows. Oh wow!
Yeah. So and it's a community of, you kind of get to know all the fans. It's a small community of people that go to all the festivals and all the cruises. You see a lot of the same faces and you see new faces, but it's people who really truly love this music and support the musicians, and it's a beautiful thing. I just wish prog rock had a larger mainstream audience like it did in the 70s.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you're talking about it on here, and Tim and I are both like out there and very worldly. I didn't know about this cruise.
I didn't either.
Right? What an eye opener! Is it on like regular cruise lines like Royal Caribbean?
Royal Caribbean.
Well, it's Norwegian this year. This year's
Uh-huh.
Norwegian.
Okay.
Norwegian. And do they so I get all this cruise stuff. I have never seen this advertised. This is so cool. You realize how cool this is?
I don't think Norwegian advertises that it's cruise to you.
Uh-huh.
I don't
So
know. Maybe they
it's
do.
probably more of a special cruise type of thing. You know?
It's actually, I don't know if Norwegian. I don't know if the cruise lines advertise it.
Uh-huh.
It's usually it's just advertised, online and in publications and and the community, word of mouth and everything.
Right.
There's people that go that don't miss a year. They'll they'll go every year. It's part of their life, and
It's so
they have
great.
kind of a built-in audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
There's like 4 or 5 venues, and it's a festival like all day and all night, and it's just there's so many great bands and so much great music, and like Joe was saying, the fans are really dedicated and they love it. They love it, and they get to you walk down the hall and a fan will stop, say, "Ah, you're great, nice to meet you." It's very personable.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Very approachable.
The fans really like that.
Yeah,
so,
that's great.
and
Now, firstly, I just wanted to say, Jane, I love that song from the video. That was amazing.
Wonderful. Yeah.
That was incredible.
Thank you very much.
And Joe, now let's talk a little bit about Joe. Like, where are you from? Where did you grow up, and how did you discover your passion for stringed instruments?
I have a kind of a twisted background from a lot of different places. I was born in the former Soviet Union in Russia. I was born in Russia.
Oh, wow.
Born in Russia.
And my parents are both classical musicians. My father's a violinist. My mother's a pianist. And we emigrated to the States when I was 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad won the job with the Cleveland Orchestra, which is one of the top orchestras on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up growing up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
Cleveland rocks.
Russian trained musicians are the creme de la creme. It's real different there. So to grow up in a house like that with both parents, wow. You really didn't have a choice except to be good.
Well, I started violin and piano when I was 5.
Wow.
Piano kind of fell by the wayside. I stuck with the violin, but
you were studying classical. I'm assuming they were teaching you classical.
I was, and then it was my dad, and then I went to Cleveland Institute of Music and played in the youth orchestra and all that. But part of it was also wanting to assimilate culturally, and I really kind of fell in love with what was on the radio in the 80s and MTV and pop culture and rock and roll. And, I started writing songs and taught myself electric bass. I started writing songs on piano and singing. And so it morphed into kind of this parallel life where I was growing up, going to classical lessons, playing in orchestra, but also playing in bands. I learned guitar and bass, wrote songs.
Cool. But culturally, it would have made you more acceptable here and able to fit in.
I was always a ham. I love to perform. I love to connect with people, and I felt like I could do that better in a rock and roll kind of setting.
Right.
But then, around in high school, I played in my high school jazz band. I had a great jazz teacher. Then I was introduced to the music of Jean-Luc Ponty and Grappelli and Mahavishnu Orchestra, and I discovered, man, I love rock and roll music and fusion and jazz, and I can do that on the violin, and that's like my strongest instrument because I've been playing it for so long. And then I had a moment. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Michael Stanley.
Tell us.
Michael Stanley was a kind of a local celebrity in Cleveland. He was kind of like Bob Seger, heartland rock and roll. He held attendance records, still holds attendance records in all the major arenas in Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
And he had some minor hits, never broke huge internationally, but locally he could fill big venues. So his twin daughters went to my high school. He saw me play violin, invited me to play with his band when I was 16.
Stop it. How cool.
Really
and at the time, I had never played anything on the violin outside of classical music. So I was kind of thrown into the deep end of the pool. But I knew the language of jazz and blues and improvisation from playing guitar and bass, So I kind of adapted it on the violin, and it was kind of a breakthrough moment. And I got a great response. I got a good write up in the paper. I'm like,
oh my God,
wow, this is. There's not a lot of people doing this,
Yeah,
wow. So
exactly. Yeah, a friend of mine. She's very young. She's out in LA. I don't know if you've heard of her or seen her at all. I think she's going by the name Beethoven, BAE.
Hmm.
But her
Okay,
name
I
is
love that.
Melissa.
Bad
Melissa.
Tobin.
Yeah, but her name is
Huh.
Melissa, and she grew up in my building, and I've watched her grow up, and she is remarkable on the
Amazing.
violin and plays
Cool.
rock and progressive, just everything.
I'll
She's
look her up. You know.
I'll hook the two of you up. Yeah, but yeah. So that's so interesting, that progression of and again, like you said, it's a niche. There's not that many that play violin outside of classical.
Well, times have changed. I mean, in my day, there were not that many, you know.
Mhm.
And I think the other part of it was trying to be my own man and not follow my parents' footsteps. It was the rebellious aspect to the whole thing too. I wanted to,
Right.
and I kind of felt I was a very creative person, and I felt like sitting in an orchestra would kind of stifle me that way, you know, because it's all about precision and following the conductor, and you know.
Yeah.
But if you look at your parents' background, right, the country that they came from, that's what it was about. You know, you were growing up here, and you know, it's a whole other thing culturally. And by getting into progressive rock with the electrical violin, it really satisfies that. You know, it's a whole different thing than classical. By the way, I love electrical violin. My first exposure to it, and don't you all laugh at me, there was a guy in the subway, very good looking guy, that was an amazing electrical violinist. And he always played on, he was put there through the, you know, Subways has a whole music program where they put professional musicians.
Yeah.
He was one of those, but he was the
Music Under New York. Yeah.
Right.
Music Under New York. Yeah.
Music Under New York. This guy was like so amazing, and I would always take the R train so I could get off, and he was there all the time, and he would wear like really tight clothes and dance around with the electrical violin. He had all the amps and everything set up in the subway, and I have to tell you, I just absolutely loved it. It's great.
Now,
that's great.
One thing I just want to mention, Joe, regarding Cleveland, is people from Cleveland love Cleveland. My best friend lives in Indiana and has for probably 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
From Cleveland, goes back like at least once or twice a month. Loves Cleveland, loves the Browns, loves the Indians, and
The Guardians, right?
I was going to say,
it's
they're not
Guardians.
Indians
No,
anymore,
for
right?
her, it will always be Indians. But now you had mentioned about playing with Kansas, with the group Kansas, which is an incredible achievement. But also some of the other groups that you have performed with are The Who, Bruce Springsteen, 50 Cent, Peter Criss from Kiss, Sheryl Crow. I mean, wow, that you've really had. You've performed on stage with a lot of heavy hitters
with the creme de la creme. What was it like performing with The Who? I love The Who. Love them.
Well, when I moved to New York in '97 to do my master's at Manhattan School of Music in jazz violin, actually. And my goal was to stay in New York and be a working musician. So I took every gig under the sun. I was freelancing. I joined the union. I think one of my first gigs was playing at the old Westbury Music Fair with Jay Black and later with Smokey Robinson. So there's a circle. Wow. So there's a circle of, you know, community of string players in New York, and you just network and you start getting hired for all these different gigs. Every artist you mentioned has their own story, how that came about. The Who was very interesting because I had electric violin student named Katie Jacoby who came to me when she was 14 in 2005, 2006. And her mom used to drive her 3 hours from Delaware on Sundays. And we'd do long lessons. We'd work on everything, you know, technique, improv, songwriting. One day she goes, you know, Joe, I just joined School of Rock, you know, the School of Rock franchise. And we're doing Baba O'Reilly. Can you kind of help me with the solo? I'm like, yeah, let's figure it out together. So we worked through the solo. And then 10 years later, 2016, I get called to play at Madison Square Garden with The Who. And Katie is their touring violinist.
Stop it. So, that's like 6 degrees of separation. I mean, come on.
So talk about full circle. So I'm sitting there, you know, beaming with pride. I'm in the string section watching her play the song. And it was one of those magic moments.
It is magical. Wow.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So a lot of these were orchestra gigs where I'm part of a string section, you know.
Yeah.
But
so,
you're there,
and I could tell you a lot of stories.
I
Yeah.
know, but that's
I
those are
imagine.
look at the people that you've played with, incredible. Not bad. Cleveland, however, is really known for music. I
Yeah.
never is it because of the school that's there?
It's Cleveland is the butt of many jokes, but it's a great place to grow up. So many
Yeah.
great artists would tour through there.
Yeah.
I grew up going to so many concerts.
Yeah.
And it's got a world-class orchestra and a world-class music
Mhm.
school,
Exactly.
a few actually. So
Well,
there's a
and
lot
the
going for it,
rock and roll Hall of Fame is there.
and not to mention the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah. Yeah.
Now we also have a video of you
Yeah.
performing, so we want to take a look at that real quick, and then we will come back and we'll talk about the collaboration of the
Yep.
two of you.
Okay.
How about that? So, ladies and
Sounds
gentlemen,
Yeah.
yes, Joe Deninzon.
Drowning in the false alarmers, saturating your head, carpeting the bombs they blanket, and we're better off dead. Dancing in the noise pollution, tripping over ourselves, screaming in our echo chamber, louder than everyone else. Chicken Little is wrong, good for you. On the way to your valley of doom. Nothing is but just more of the same, more of the same. We're heating up as we run out of time, getting close to the end of the line. Hold out your hand, loser jumps first in this game of chicken. Talking past the voice of reason in a world of our own. Reaching to a hall of mirrors, we can find our way home. Chicken Little is all good for you. On the way to your moment of truth. Nothing is but just more of the same. Who can you blame? We're getting up as we run out of time, getting close to the end of the line. Hold out your hand, loser jumps first in this game of chicken. Fire pistol into the sky. This could be the day that you die. Over the cliff, loser jumps first in this game of chicken.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
Thank
My
you.
God, on that violin,
Amazing.
the
Yeah.
precision of that.
Incredible. Before we get into your upcoming show at the Iridium, I did want to ask you, Joe. Your wife is also a violinist. How do you
That's
guys
right.
juggle your schedules?
So my wife is a member of the New York Philharmonic
Wow.
and was born in Russia, a few blocks from where I was born, and went to the same music school as my dad growing up. Knew a lot of the same teachers. Yeah, we had this connection. It's very interesting. We met in
That's a
school.
very incredible
Yeah.
connection by the universe, really.
So we stay in our own lanes. She's a classical, very, very great classical player. I do my thing. We rarely play together just because there's no time. You know? And now that, I'm on tour a lot, and when we're both on tour, my parents will come and stay with the kids. We have two kids, age 12 and 17.
Wow.
Or I'll bring the kids somewhere, like to my parents or to another relative or friend. And we've been able to juggle it so far, but it's definitely challenging,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
it's
both of
crazy.
When you work as much as you do, it always seems to me it's kind of challenging to try and have quote unquote a normal life, right? Because you have a
We
life,
do not.
right?
Yeah, we
Right.
do not
Well,
have a normal life.
based on gigs, right? it's a life that's based on gigs. It's interesting. To either of your kids play?
Yeah. Both of our kids play. Max, oldest son, plays piano really well. He doesn't want to be a musician, but he's a good pianist. And Ariana, our daughter, played violin for a while and quit, but she plays guitar and piano, and she sings really well and loves to write songs. She's got a single coming out actually that I have produced.
So cool.
Yeah. And we call it, it's under Ariana D. It's going to be released in April.
Very, very cool.
So,
we have to have her on the show. She could be the youngest.
That'd be fun.
We have her hat on here. That would really be fun.
She's turning 13 in April, so it'll come out like a week before her birthday.
That's amazing. At 13, I mean, my God, I was in junior high in the Bronx. I had no idea really what I wanted to do. So the two of you, I'm sure, are very excited about your upcoming show. Is this your first time playing the Iridium?
No.
For either of us. Yeah.
We've all played it. This is my third. I know Jane's played it a bunch of times.
This is my third also. Third or fourth.
Oh, you're kidding. That's wow. At the same time. Hi, Tim. We're losing everybody today.
Sorry, I ran out of juice.
Well,
There's gremlins at large.
Yes.
So, but
Jane,
that's such an amazing venue. What other venues have you enjoyed playing in the New York area?
The Cutting Room played
I
at.
love the Cutting Room.
Yeah, I played there too.
yeah.
A couple of venues that don't exist anymore. Metropolitan Cafe. Did you ever play at the Metropolitan Cafe, Joe?
No.
Oh, that was First Avenue in the 60s, I think. That was a great, every Tuesday.
Oh, no.
It was a great hang. Everybody would show up. And it was
Wow.
Was that like down in a basement? You had to go down?
No, it was
I'm thinking of a different place.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we used to.
55 bar. Did you ever play the 55 bar, Joe?
I've played it with a Mahavishnu tribute band, but not with my project because we're more rock than jazz, I think.
Yeah.
Do you find that a lot of venues, like in the last couple of years, certainly the pandemic threw everything into turmoil, have you found that a lot of places that you did play have closed down?
Some.
Yeah, some. Yeah.
You know, not all. We used to play at this place in Harlem called the Shrine, which is still there.
I remember the Shrine. That's still there.
Yeah,
that was kind of our go. That was our go-to dive bar to play. We would book all kinds of evenings there. Yeah.
Yeah, I played there recently a couple times, and their sister club, what's it called? Oh, Silvano's. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who the Shrine was named after?
No.
Okay, this is a test. Do you know Fela Ransom Kuti? Fela. The Afrobeat
from Africa.
Yeah. So I went to the original Shrine before I was working over there, and before he became famous here at all. You could go see him in Lagos at the Shrine. He was totally accessible, and he put Afrobeat on the map, and that's the original Shrine in Lagos. And then of course they named the one up in Harlem that too. But I love
so cool
like that. I know, right? It's so cool.
Now, one of the things that I loved about both of your videos is live performance.
Yeah.
I liked the band, having a drummer, having the guitar, having and keyboards. And I love having all of the instruments there live. And so much now is on a computer.
Right.
Press a button. Can you just address that a little bit?
Well, I want to say
that human component.
I'm totally with you. I want to say I had mentioned Prague Stock. That clip you played was a live double concert album DVD we did at Prague Stock. That was recorded in 2019.
Yeah.
We don't use clicks or tracks or anything. It's all raw. It's all live. And neither does Kansas, actually. Kansas is one of the few bands that has no tracks and no clicks. Everything is raw. Everything is live. And we pride ourselves on that. And I love it.
Yeah.
Well, and again, just watching you with that, like, so quick, the precision on that, amazing.
Thank you. I like to challenge myself and sing and play at the same time and write crazy parts. I was going to say, because those are two different parts of the brain, and having to do that as well as
yeah, I'm wondering how many pieces of your brain are activated during that time.
It's
How many
it's a
pieces of your brain?
it's a form of masochism. It's like how hard can I make life for myself? That's kind of my thing, I don't know.
So,
Anyway,
with both of you, and this is a question for both of you, do you have upcoming projects, creative projects that you're working on right now that you can share with us?
I have a new album that I just finished, and it's
Ah,
going to be coming out sometime. I'm not sure the exact date. Sometime in the next few months,
Wonderful.
before the fall. Not just kind
Uh-huh.
of working all that right now.
cool.
And, so I'm excited about that. And
Will you be playing songs from that when you perform at the Iridium?
yeah, going to be doing.
Oh,
We're going
sweet.
to be premiering a couple of songs from
Cool.
that. Never been played live before, so I'm excited about it. And the date of the Iridium show, by the way, is March 1st. We haven't said that yet. We haven't said that yet. So I think
Sunday,
that's
March
important.
1st. Yeah.
Sunday, March
Yep.
1st, 8 p.m. Yep.
What time is it? It's 8 p.m., right?
Yep. Mhm.
Yep, I have that written down. That is important. And we should give the address of the Iridium. It's on Broadway, but what's the exact address?
I don't have it like here.
It's right
like,
next to
It's like 52nd Street. Is it 52nd?
Yeah, across the
You
or,
street.
know,
well, it's right next. Isn't it underneath Ellen Stardust?
I was going to say,
Yeah,
if you go
it's
to Stardust Diner.
Stardust
it's the
Diner,
same
yeah.
building. You got to go downstairs.
Yeah,
Right,
right
so you
downstairs.
can have a great night. You can hear amazing music. You can go to Ellen Stardust first. By the way, guys, I
I
love
love
that place.
Yeah.
Really good
It's
burgers.
it's 1650 Broadway,
Thank
New York, New York.
1650 Broadway, right?
Thank you.
Thank you. And what about you, Joe? What's your next things coming up?
I got a lot of things cooking. I actually Stratusfurious. We have some new music we're working on. We're playing some unreleased music at our Iridium show. We're tracking new stuff that'll eventually be our next album, whenever that happens.
Nice.
And I wrote an electric violin concerto for orchestra
Oh, wow.
10 years ago, and I'm finally getting around to tracking it. But I'm not doing it a traditional way where I'm renting a big studio and getting a conductor and coordinating 100 people's schedules. I'm actually tracking all the parts one by one at individual people's homes and studios. And that's a long-term thing I'm working on. I'm hoping it'll be out in 2027. And it's a 30-minute concept piece. It's like a psychedelic dream. And it really features the instrument in all kinds of cool ways. So
Nice.
I'm excited to finally get it out there,
That's cool.
the way it's meant to be played.
How
So,
big of an orchestra?
Yeah.
oh my God. Probably about 80 people.
Oh my God.
That's
I haven't counted.
that's a big undertaking.
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
full brass, full percussion, drum set, woodwinds. I did a lot of the string parts, but my wife's going to contribute. I'm going to have all my string friends contribute.
This is so great.
So
That's
it's
amazing.
it's good because I have a lot of idle time on the road with Kansas.
Right.
So that's when I do my editing, and I do all the tracking on the days that I'm home,
Yeah.
Well,
So,
you
yeah.
never stop
Tell
working.
me, tell me what it's like working together. Like when you sit down in a room together, start to create, and the creativity starts to bubble. Tell me what it's like working with each other.
Well, we haven't done that yet, but that is something that we would like to do.
I think you should.
Yeah.
This is the first collaboration that we're doing together
Okay.
because it's something that we've been talking about doing for a long time, doing a show together.
Mhm.
And we always felt that it would be a great double bill because our music
Absolutely.
is similar but different enough so that it's the audience doesn't get like, I don't know what you call it when they get bored, when they start spacing out. Music sounds too much the same, what I mean?
Right. They start coughing. I notice they start coughing.
So, but
Yeah.
there's enough similarity that a lot of the fans are the same, and like
Right.
I have fans that will be introduced to my music, and I'll have some fans that will be
Right.
introduced to his music,
Absolutely.
and so we thought that it would be a great double bill, and we hope to do more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I-
I've always
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. I've always been a fan of curated evenings and collaborating with other bands.
Right.
We don't really like to play by ourselves. We always like to have another group, and I love, the cross promotion aspect of it,
Me
and the
too.
camaraderie and the community that you build together. You build a scene,
Yeah.
and Jane has been high on our list of artists we wanted to play
Nice.
with.
I
So,
I
love
love when
that.
things
Yeah.
like that come together. Can
Right.
I ask a favor of you, Joe, just for a moment? Can you get up and turn your computer around away from the?
We
There
can
we go.
see
So we can-
you. Yeah.
yeah.
I
All
just
right.
want to.
Let me.
I just want to get a quick picture of the four of us here.
Yeah. And we've
Cool.
got a couple of comments today that we
And
want to
ready?
read.
And
Okay.
three, 2, 1. Thank you. Let me do one
All
more.
right.
Just a moment. As soon as that moves out, I figured. Let me get it while I got you here. Okay. Ready?
Absolutely.
In
And lit.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Now back to
We
our
get some
regularly
great
scheduled
comments
program.
today from people that have tuned in. Let's see. Our
Awesome.
first one, Rose Trentman, talked about the play that we're going to see tomorrow. We have Apollonia Cruz. Thank you for tuning
Oh, we
in.
love
Rose,
Apollonia.
also, we were talking about getting hit with a baseball. She has a friend that got hit with a baseball at Yankee Stadium. You guys, stay away from these baseball fields until they resolve this, right? Carlos Cañones, who we love. We miss you guys. Miss you too. Thank you for tuning in. JC Augustine, who just finished a great run with his wonderful play about rats. And we're all, we've all had our own experiences with rats. This was at Theater for the New City. Nice to see you on here, JC Augustine. Thank you for tuning in today. You guys, I wish you the best. For everybody who's listening, it's March 1st, 1650 Broadway at the Iridium at 8 p.m. Please get your tickets. Are there still tickets available?
I believe so. I believe
Okay.
so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're selling fast, so get yours
Yeah,
now.
I think
What an amazing double bill.
it's an
This is
amazing
great.
double
It's
bill.
gonna be a
And,
lot of
and
fun.
I always have epiphanies on this show because the whole area of music that you were discussing, from these cruises that they have, and the tight fan base and everything, it's just so enlightening to see so much creativity out there.
Mhm.
This is why we're here. That's what I feel. And wishing you both the most incredible show.
Yeah.
Really.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Guys
Man.
make an appearance. Might you
So
guys-
what date
Yeah,
is
I
March
might.
1st? Is that a
Sunday.
Friday night?
Sunday.
Sunday.
I may be
Yeah.
able to
Same
do
here.
that.
Same
Yes.
here.
Awesome. That
I
would
would
be
Let us
awesome.
know. We'll put you on the guest list.
Oh, well, thank
Okay.
you.
And-
Hold on,
Okay.
I'll make a note.
Is Scott
Um,
Barbarino, is he still doing the booking there?
Who?
Oh, okay, never mind. I
That's
guess
not who we were in touch with.
Scott
Yeah.
Barbarino. Yeah.
By the way, isn't that daylight savings time? Is it March 1st?
Oh, is it?
Oh, I never thought of that.
So what is
So
that?
it'll be your
That could
daylight
be.
savings time show.
Bring
Yeah.
forward? Oh, wow.
That could be.
See.
So 7 p.m.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, you
Oh,
say-
no,
hang on.
daylight savings is the 8th. I just looked at
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Never mind.
That's the following weekend.
Yeah.
Y'all had me
right.
confused for a minute because I'm like, wait, we don't spring ahead till midnight, and the show is at 8 o'clock. So don't
Which would
tell
be
people
7
it's
o'clock.
at 7. My God.
Sorry. I'll shut up now.
Leave that
Sorry I
out.
said anything.
So-
But
Yeah.
you two hang on, because after the credits roll and after the show ends, don't sign off. We'll come back and say goodbye.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
All right, but thank you so very
Thank you.
much.
Yeah,
This was
really.
incredible.
This
Jane
has
Getter
been a
Joe
pleasure.
Deninzon,
Thanks for
thank
having
you
us.
very much.
Bye.
We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Bye.